Hello and welcome to my show, Searching for Integrity. My name really is John Smith, and I'm searching for people with integrity. Why? Because our country suffers from IDD, Integrity Deficit Disorder. We have as our guest today's author, Jesse Fiedor, and his book, Angels in Heaven. It's the true story of Jesse's life as a child, disabled for life, and at age 10, not expected to live due to the horrific grand mal seizures from epilepsy. That's what you were just describing. Was there a point in
Yes,
your
that's
life
correct.
that I believe you turned this over to God, and He sent me an angel after angel? That's remarkable right there. And did it linger? Did it go away? Was it disappeared? How did it do?
Well, there is no cure for epilepsy whatsoever, but what led me to being cured was my faith. Again, I took a 40-year journey when I started to attend church and I became a Christian. When I took that journey, my life started changing in its entirety because I was still going to be expected to die within a certain period of time because of the horrific animal seizures. But I turned my life over to God, and when I did that, everything started changing.
Tell me about the
And
part where
what it,
God sends angel after angel coming to rescue you.
yes, that's very, very true. They were, in a sense, they were people that just came out of nowhere to a certain degree, and they were total strangers. And some of them I didn't know, but it was people helping me and performing actual miracles. There's so many examples of what happened with my life during on this 45-year journey because all alone, in a sense, homeless, living off of disability of $267 a month, trying to survive in life, still undergoing seizures. The doctor said that there's nothing we can do. We can stop. They tried changing my medications. They did everything. And unfortunately, there's nothing they said that they could do. So mother decided to start taking me to church. It was the former Garden Grove Community Church is where I started, and it was known as the Crystal Cathedral later on. When that happened, my life then started to totally change, and I couldn't drive, so I just started walking. I've been walking now. I was walking there for about 11 years, but church was maybe 7 or 8 miles away, but that wouldn't stop me. So sometimes I'd walk home. My day is again a 45-year journey where I met angels along the way. The actual miracles actually, it's how it happened is just the unique part of the story.
Did you have an opportunity to talk to the angels when they came?
Well, they weren't necessarily flowing angels from heaven; they were people. That's why I call them angels because of what they did when we met. Just to give one example of my angels I met, I was in Sandy, California, the beach, and a friend decided to go out to the beach, just swim around for a while, and I was sitting on. I just saw a rock out into the ocean, fairly big rock. It's ocean, so I'll be, just to prove my strength or what I do, I'm going to I'll make it to the rock. Back, got to the rock, got around 3 quarters of the way there. It was a little bit, I thought, the wrap away. I mean, you need strength. So actually, rather strong. the ocean there. I just started help, and I started going down. And it was like I would, then I would be most likely drown. He would come, scream, help, help, help. They did. out of out of nowhere, there's a surfer on a surfboard, and then he pedaled out to me, saved my life. A total stranger. There was just a person in the water that saved my life. I guess God said, "I'm not through with you yet," and He brought me to shore, and He saved my life. So it was an angel sent from heaven. There's so many more stories that I have in my 45-year journey that I've written in my book, where I met other angels along the way, the miracles that happened in my life. And that was just one example of how an angel came out of nowhere and saved my life.
Well, you're a lucky guy.
That's
I can tell you that.
Yeah, yes.
No
I
doubt
was
at all.
very, very lucky. And that's not the only time that it happened. I came across that more than once, where my life was almost taken.
Let me ask you,
But it's not necessary. Yeah.
was there
Sure.
a procedure that you were supposed to be in terms of uh, breathing and other things that came with the epilepsy that you could
Well, no,
combat
not
with?
really. Because, no, breathing, it's when you have a grand mal seizure, again,
Right,
it's not really breathing that stops necessarily unless you swallow your tongue. Swallow the tongue,
right,
of course, then you will suffer.
right.
That's the only breathing problem that a person with epilepsy may encounter, I should say, that I know of
Right.
anyway.
I remember in the high school in a hall, and a few teachers were bending over this person who was having a reaction, a seizure, and they pulled out pencils to keep him from losing his tongue. They kept the pencils
Mhm.
to fight it off. Did you ever experience that?
I didn't experience it with pencils or anything of the sort. I experienced it in hospitals, I should say, because they know exactly how to I guess, take care of a person that's having the seizure. When I experienced it in the hospital, they would use a tongue flapper, more or less. It's a soft, so
Right,
when you're
right.
biting down, you're not going to lose your teeth. It's a way of putting it. But I've been in many, many hospitals when I was younger trying to control the seizures. And I even spent time in Camarillo Mental Hospital. But the only reason that I was sent there was because my seizures wouldn't stop. And that was one of the only locations that I could be put into where it was padded all the way from the floor to the ceiling to the roof all the way around, so that if I did have a seizure in the cell, they called it, and at least I wouldn't kill myself by hitting my head against the floor or the wall. I spent
Have
6 months in a
you?
mental hospital where I've never been.
Ah, interesting. Go ahead with the mental hospital.
Well, it was a horrible place. It was a horrible place for the time, because again, that's not where I belong. I was away from my family, just living in hospitals most of the time when I was younger. But at the age of 23, that's when my life converted and I became a Christian. And that's when, again, all the good things happened. It started my long journey of Christianity to where I am. It's a total miracle. And where I am now and what I've accomplished by going to church and what God has done for me.
Have you worked with other children or adults on the epilepsy?
Oh yes, I've been a member of the American Epilepsy Society for years. I contribute what I can to help others. And I'm also a public speaker where I speak in different areas, a lot of churches, because I guess you can say that my story is all faith-based. And I've been on television, different radio stations. I've been on the 700 Club, and I've been on many other stations, radio and television, both. And I've been guest speaker at famous Christian Cathedral and many other churches. But I want others to show that my story can benefit them so that they will never, and don't let a disability stand in your way of fulfilling your dreams. Because as Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. Well, that's very true. So I want to help others that are in the similar circumstances and or worse to move ahead with life and fulfill whatever dream that you do have. Because I know it can be done because of what I went through. I know it can be done because someone else is going to be having their faith-based journey with the Lord and end up a much better person by the way of Jesus.
Well, I can tell that for sure. You know, you got a lot of guts, man. There's no doubt about that. You got a lot of guts.
Yeah. I fulfilled a lot of my goals that I wanted to do because I never gave up. No, never. Because of my disability and my comprehension. It took me 8 years, but after 8 years, I finally graduated from State University with a bachelor's degree in communications. It took me 8 years to get a 4-year degree, but I would never give up. I always wanted to work in the motion picture industry.
Uh-huh.
And sure enough, I worked in the motion picture industry. I worked in Hollywood, on the sets of programs, and it's such a wonderful thing. But it's how I got there. That's the miracle, how I did it. And how I got into Hollywood was out of the ordinary, but I fulfilled that dream. And
Is that in
I
your
traveled
book?
Oh yes, yes it is. It shows you exactly how I got into Hollywood. It shows you exactly how someone else could actually follow in footsteps that are creative. Because I wanted to do something out of the ordinary to get into Hollywood. I did, and I've traveled all over the world. Probably alone, not very many countries that I have been to, but I fulfilled that dream starting on living off of disability of $267 a month. Well, when I was living off of disability income, I went to school in London, England, to Temple University, a semester that I wanted to fulfill an obligation where I did that self, where I was going to have something out of the ordinary that's much, much better than my resume. And it turned out exactly what I did. A lot of my goals that I do, and I did a lot of it living on disability, and I was able to work later on after my seizures stopped. When I did that, I fulfilled what I wanted to do in life and where I am today.
Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me clapping over here? That's me
Yeah, I
clapping
sure
for
am.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
that
so much.
deserves. That deserves. It does. It does. Well, we have to cut off here. If you would uh, tell my audience, Jesse, where they can find your books.
Well, they can go to my website, which is angelsfromheaven.site, S-I-T-E, angelsfromheaven.site, and that's going to bring directly because my book's on Amazon. It's on all the Barnes and Nobles, all the stores that have books. You can order it right from the store, or you can just go right to Amazon. It's Angels from Heaven, My Miraculous Cure from Epilepsy. And Amazon is probably the biggest seller of my book. but you can get it. It's an audio book. It's a hard copy, or excuse me, soft book copy book. You can order the book. You can order a book, or you can also read it online.
I ought to, but I bought one of your audibles.
Yeah, audiobook. It's right on my website.
I bought it. I bought one.
Audio. You did?
Yeah, I bought
Okay,
one
yeah. You
yesterday.
can just. Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, you can just listen to it on audiobook.com.
And others should too. We need to
Yes.
thank you again and our listeners for tuning in to Searching for Integrity, and for you to have been our guest today, Jesse. Quite an effort
Well, I
you've
thank you
done.
so much for having me.
So much more. Don't give up on that part. And let's
No,
see, you're in California. You'll also know one of these things. When I say my adios, I always say so long and happy trails to all.